Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. And today we are doing the last two episodes of King of the Hill, Season 14, Episodes 9 and 10. We'll start with Episode 9, called No Hank Left Behind.
Safi had a little bit of an issue today. She woke up and she told me she still doesn't know how to read, so she wanted to learn today.
Marco is being a dipshit again.
No, okay, well, I will say what I thought of episode 9, and we'll kind of go through. It's not worth going through like the whole thing, but like I liked episode 9. I thought that it was pretty good. It had some good moments in it. It had a good idea. They're basically parodying Andrew Tate and people like that. And Safi doesn't even know who that is.
Nope, I don't.
But it like a lot of the stuff, it's really over exaggerated. It's kind of dated, to be honest. Like, I think that, and I'm not going to defend like Andrew Tate or someone like him, but like at the same time, like it's a very one-sided episode. It is kind of interesting though to see Hank dealing with like a bad like male like mentor, and see how he would like go against someone like that and try to like show like be a good role model for younger men and boys. But at the same time, it really reminded me of, I know Safi knows who Howard Stern is.
Yep.
Well, he sucks now. He's a piece of shit now, but back in the 90s when he was really good and he was really funny and he was offensive, everyone loved him. He even made his own movie and he starred in it as well. Safi has seen it.
I wrote a book. That's all I know.
And then he starred in the movie. And so, but a lot of the times in the 90s, the 2000s, they made TV show episodes based off of him, or movies based off of him, where they would have a evil radio host character, and it's like, oh no, he's just a bully, and he says mean things, and he's just a self-absorbed bully. That's all he is. And it's a shock jock, and he's horrible, and the guys who listen to him, they're horrible, and they're slobs. and this is the same thing. Wouldn't you agree, Safi, that like, I'm not saying I'm defending like this type of stuff, a lot of it, but like it really felt kind of like one-sided. It kind of felt like a one-sided, almost like a really superficial like CNN kind of understanding of the situation. And it reminded me of, there was a movie earlier this year called Companion, and it was basically, the whole movie was framing men as bad, and that men are the reason why dating is so bad, so all the men had to get robot companions.
Oh.
And it's like, this is the same shit that we see all the time nowadays, which is, the men in the episode are blaming everything on women, I guess, but like, that's not
They
for...
weren't all doing that, but the guy started twisting.
Yeah.
There was a group around them, and it started out with Hank's little stepbrother, and
brother.
His half brother, and he said that he wanted to be more than friends with this girl, and she rejected him, and he wanted her, and he thought he didn't understand that. And Hank said, some people just want to be friends with you, and you just have to accept it. You can't force her to be your girlfriend. And then they kind of went around.
Yeah, but that girl's probably a bitch, and he's a beta, and so. But the point is that like, what I was trying to say is the irony of this episode is that the whole episode talks about how, all these men like just hate women, or they're being trained to hate women, But then this whole episode, ironically, all it is like blaming all men. Like, it's saying that like men should just look at themselves. Like they're like they didn't have any like balance in the criticism of like, oh well, there are some
Well, not everything is going to be a cookie cutter. It shouldn't be.
But it was a cookie cutter.
Well, I guess it was.
The way that they showed that like, oh well, it's just all the men's faults. They should just all blame all the problems on themselves.
Yeah,
like every other movie and TV show that comes out nowadays.
But the thing is about this guy, see, they got a settlement from Cotton. Thought he was going to grow his stumps out with this magical cream.
Yeah.
And it ended up to be a fake. It was hot sauce mixed with lotion. And so he died, I guess, the long time ago in the earlier seasons.
No, it was the later seasons.
Oh, okay, well, whenever this is what it wasn't this season. He had already died. And so he had a kid. And so there was Hank.
Do you
and then
remember
this little kid.
GH?
Yeah, I remember Cotton.
Do you remember,
I don't remember.
GH?
The other son is Junichiro, who's a half brother. So they
Do you remember him?
No, I don't remember.
Oh shit!
I don't. Well, anyway.
Oh.
They got there was a class action lawsuit against this company that made this stuff, and the three Hanks got a settlement, $5,000 settlement, and they each got $1,000, and then maybe the widow got $2,000 or something. I don't know where that went, but I know that they got $1,000, and so the kid had to wanted to do this program, and he couldn't where he would learn how to be a better person. It sounded like I can't.
No, it's a man camp. And there are really funny videos of that online. You have the men, and they're all sitting around in their underwear, and they're all like screaming, like practicing screaming, like letting out their inner alpha. It's just really gay.
Well, they wouldn't.
It's so gay.
They wouldn't let the kid be in it without an adult accompanying him because he was under 16.
Yeah.
So Hank thought, well, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll even pay for it. So he even paid for it out of his money. He didn't even make the kid pay for himself. And so that's when they had this circle. It was one of the things they did together. And it was kind of like a group therapy thing. And so it started with the kid, and he said that, and then all these other people started talking about some kind of bad experience. None of them were with a woman. They were all divorced or whatever. And, of course, the kid is too young. He wasn't married. It was just somebody wanted to be his girlfriend. But it seemed like the head of the group was manipulating at the end the other people to say, oh, it was a woman. And they were going, yeah, you're right. And so Hank thought that was really fishy. And that the kid was... It was kind of like a group thing where they all kind of rose up together, and Hank was like, they called him a beta and were saying bad things to him, and Hank wanted his money back. And
Hank isn't a beta,
and
for sure.
Whatever that is, but anyway,
it means you're lesser.
And the kid, the kid started screaming at him and saying all this stuff, and in Hank's head, he could see his father yelling at him, saying the same exact things. And he thought, oh my God, what is going on here? And so he has Dale.
Safi's defaulting to just explaining the whole episode instead of reviewing it. He has him do a
background check on this guy.
Well,
He's not all he seems.
Getting back to the review, trying to do a review, so this definitely felt like a very superficial, like one-sided takedown of like the stereotype, and to be honest, like I like the part where Hank finally took him down, and he exposed that he started his business because his mom invested in it and got him started, which I don't know why that was some kind of takedown. I guess just because he blamed everything on women, but then his mom is in charge. But at the same time, again, I wish that they had shown a little bit more of like the other side of things, because they just made it seem like I don't know, like it really felt like superficial and really dated. It reminded me so much of those TV show episodes about Howard Stern. Howard Stern's a bully. Oh my God, there are these radio hosts and they say mean things. And people like the radio shows too. Oh no. You know, there's tons of movies. There's tons of shows. It's really, really bizarre. You know, like and that same kind of thing is going to happen now, but with these quote unquote like alpha men, you know, like Andrew Tate, and you know some of the stuff they talked about in the episode was pretty spot on. But again, at the same time, I felt like it was one sided. But I did like I liked two things about it. I liked that he is spending time with GH.
That's the kid.
I thought, oh,
they call him GH for Good Hank.
Safi, we established that at the beginning of that video.
Not really.
So, people know that. So, anyways, the second thing I liked about the episode was I like Hank being like a role model and mentoring young men. And I think that's a great idea because it's almost like, you know, we never got to see Hank and Bobby when Bobby was a teenager. So
No.
this is us getting to see Hank and then a teenage GH and then other young men who will act like teenagers. Like Safi.
Well,
What do you think, Safi?
I just thought it was interesting. He got Dale to do the background check, and of course he's perfect for it. He's sitting in his underwear. I laughed through the whole episode.
Yeah, it was a funny episode.
I thought it was really funny, all of the stuff. And, you know, when he exposed him, everybody in the group left, including the little boy, the young kid. He had decided it wasn't for him either, that he wasn't being straight. But we have to talk about the other half of the episode, which it was kind of bizarre.
It was another thing where, oh well, we have the main story, and then the second story we literally don't know what to do, and let's just do something. Let's figure it out. It was really weird.
Well, I had forgotten because I kind of remember this vaguely, that in all the other previous seasons, Peg was actually very athletic. She had been, I don't know, a tennis player or a runner or soccer player. I can't remember. It would have been soccer, but I remember she's really athletic. Well, she was playing pickleball because Bobby couldn't come. He was getting ready for Dallas Foodie Week. So she was playing pickleball, which I have never seen pickleball. So this was like a cartoon version of what it looked like, and I thought that was interesting because I had no idea. I've heard about it, but I didn't know I've never seen it. So she was playing, and of course, holding her own, doing really well against Mrs. Boomhauer and the Asian lady. I can't remember her name, and
shit!
I guess Connie's mother.
Oh my God!
And but she was doing really well, but she accidentally fell and hurt her knee, and so she had to go into Dallas, and I guess Bobby had to come and get her and get an MRI. So the whole episode,
it's all about her developing panic disorder.
Well, from being in a closed environment.
What's really weird is that. I want to say that there's no connectivity between the two stories.
No,
except
I thought
for
there would be, but
except for I guess Bobby, and his mom get to reconnect or something and Bobby I don't know, it didn't really have anything to do with the main story, And to the fact that, like, Hank never even checks up on her or anything.
And
like,
I thought she would ask him to go, but
it's pretty weird.
He was with that kid.
That's so weird.
So they were doing their own separate activities.
It was like a video game, where you split off and you do the main story, and you don't have to really pay attention to the side story unless you want to.
But she could not even stand in an elevator with a bunch of people around without having a panic attack. And finally, now this part I don't understand. Maybe you could explain it to me. He lives with Joseph, I guess that's his roommate, and when she came the first night, they made her come back to do the MRI because she had panic attack. So they couldn't do it. So she stayed there, and they were watching some video about this pencil activity where somebody holds a pencil horizontally, and then another person gets one, and it's like karate or something, chopping a bunch of which I've seen, concrete blocks in half, only you do it with a pencil. And of course, Peggy could do it perfectly. They put all these pencils in front of her.
I played a similar game in middle school.
Well, I've never heard of it. Maybe it's a common thing.
But it was a lot different. And Safi will be horrified at the story. And I hurt my leg a couple weeks ago, and it's still getting better. But in middle school, in study hall, there's really nothing to do except for doing homework, which is kind of boring. It's so there was
done so you don't have to do it at home.
Well, that's what I did in senior year in the study hall, and that was better because it was shitty. But another kid would pick up pencils and he would break them on his forehead. He'd just take the pencil and just face plant it onto his forehead. And then I did it, and we started taking, like, okay, put 2 pencils and break them on your forehead, and just keep going. And so we just broke pencils on our foreheads, and nobody cared. It was pretty hilarious.
Weird.
What?
Well, anyway, so she tried the next, and she was really happy because they were doing something, and they were cheering her on, and Bobby had other things to do. He's still getting ready for this foodie week, but he just was so impressed with his mother, and Joseph was cheering, and I mean, it was really fun for Peggy. So she thought, I'm in a great mood. I'm going back the next day. I'll do this MRI. She started having a panic attack again. So she went back to Bobby's apartment, and Joseph fell asleep, and Bobby was busy.
Aren't you guys glad that after you watch these episodes, you get to listen to someone tell you what happened the whole episode again?
This is when I don't understand. She crawls under the bed, completely under the bed, which that would be a closed space, and finds a pencil. So she can do it. And the thing with the pencil. And nothing happened. She didn't have a panic attack. So Bobby figured out it was something, and so when she's starting to get the MRI the next day,
not MRA.
MRI, and she starts having another panic attack. But then Bobby comes in, so they don't quite start it completely, and the doctor lets him come in, and he said, Mom, I decided I'd have this special mother-son luncheon once a week at our restaurant based on your cooking, and you could come up every week and see how it goes or whatever, participate or help or whatever. So she did the MRI, and she didn't have any problems at all. And then the doctor turns around, so how did you figure it was psychosomatic that she couldn't do the MRI? So explain to me what that all means, because I didn't understand psychosomatic.
She just spent like 5 minutes just painstakingly going through the entire episode. She's like, I don't understand what that means.
No, I know what it means, but I don't understand how
what
it
applies. What does psychosomatic mean?
Well, it means
what does
that
word mean?
something is a trigger and makes you I don't know, nervous or get sick when something happens, or you think that something is happening, and and so you build up this anxiety. It's really quick, and you can have like a panic attack, or pass out, or your blood pressure could go way up, or your heart could race, or something, because it's something that triggers. Like, let's say you see a bee. You're allergic to bees. The bee doesn't even sting you, but you see it, and you automatically, it triggers something, and you start getting panicked and having a fit. So she said something about, how did you figure it was psychosomatic that she couldn't do this MRI? And I don't understand.
I guess I still don't know what that means. I guess it.
Well, look it up.
You look it up. I guess.
I turned my phone off.
I guess it means that. I don't know. I guess the point is, from this pointless story, I guess the point is that Bobby figured out that she had a thing about tight spaces from what had already happened, but what he did, I guess he just either he distracted her with talking, or by getting her to think about something else, it distracted her. So when she went under the bed, she thought about the pencil, and then in the MRI, she thought about his restaurant and going to his restaurant. I guess that's what it is. I really don't know. It was such a pointless story.
And that was the story.
It was such a drag.
She got the MRI.
It was so dumb. Like, it never comes back again either. Like, she doesn't talk about having anxiety next episode, anything.
And she doesn't tell her husband about anything that happened either. You don't see it anyway.
It's just a filler story. It's a complete filler story. I did appreciate the little thing at the end, and I liked the episode overall, even though I'm trashing it, but I liked the little thing at the end where they said that there was some bruising in her groin area, and that was a reference, of course, to when Bobby kicked her in the groin in the Bobby Goes Nuts episode. So I thought that was hilarious. That was kind of stupid. Like, I don't think that bruising would still show up like years later like that.
She said there was damage.
Or damage.
Some kind of minimal damage in the groin area. But other than that, her knee would be okay. That's what was the point of doing all that anyway.
Well, so I'd like to, before I give a grade on the first episode, I'd like to give one last note, because Safi doesn't really like to review. So I'm trying to compensate for her lack of reviewing.
Oh, Marco, hush up.
So let me compensate now. So there's a really stupid part. You know, there's a big thing nowadays about how, look, you're not allowed to joke anymore. Joking, like, cancel culture, all that crap. You're not allowed to make jokes because it's racist or it's sexist or blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, who cares? It's a joke. Like, people should be able to joke about whatever they want, no matter what. There shouldn't be any limits at all. They should be able... That's free speech. And, that's why we don't have comedy movies anymore. And that's why a lot of things. And so... But this episode just makes a really, really retarded statement against that argument, which is... one of the guys, he complains that women don't like his jokes. And then he admits that, like, oh, well, to be honest, all my jokes are misogynistic. And it's like, honestly, that was so, like, unbelievable. Like, as if a guy in like a quote-unquote sexist men's group, as if a guy in a men's group would say that something that he said or did is misogynistic. Like, it's just so unrealistic, it's not even funny. And it's also such a fucking retarded argument against, like his jokes being good or bad. It's like, who cares if they're quote-unquote sexist? There's no such thing as a sexist joke. A joke is a joke, and that's why it's a joke. And so I really didn't like that. That's what I mean by how one-sided this was. Oh no! Howard Stern is a bully! Wah! Who cares? Like, he's not a bully, he's a radio host. And he turned into a shill anyway, and now he's going to shrivel up and die someday, so who cares?
Okay, well, I don't know if I agree with all that, but I thought the episode was funny, no matter what. I mean, the thing with the MRI and all that.
So you thought it was realistic for a man
I just thought they didn't have to say all that.
Yeah.
It was like they were kind of like they were making a completion. They were trying to complete a sentence or
an
something.
arc.
Yeah, and I thought it was unnecessary. They didn't have to. They could have just gotten disgusted because he'd been going on and on about women doing this and that, and then his mother is actually, and she came in. She had heard that he was saying these things, and she was mad. And so she bitched at him in front of the whole group. And so I just thought that they would be mad that he's a phony. So for them to say all that stuff, I thought that that wasn't necessary, you know. So it was really, in fact, the focus really should have been mainly on not Bobby, but Hank, a little
GH.
Yeah. Not those other people. They were really unimportant.
It was a really weird, argument, though. Who cares, what his jokes are about? That really has nothing to do with, him as, a person. How is him learning what kind of jokes to make gonna improve him as a person? How is that gonna...
Well, I know, that's why I say...
You're joining a men's group so you can get feedback on your jokes.
Yeah, and maybe
really?
Maybe they could have just said your jokes just aren't any good, period.
Yeah.
They're not funny. I mean, that would have been actually a lot better.
Maybe they are. There was a really funny, quote-unquote, sexist joke, which I love sexist jokes. I love racist jokes. I love all the types of jokes.
Okay, that's bullshit.
I love
I don't believe it.
all the types of jokes.
Okay, I don't believe
Burger King had a real initiative that they put out on social media, and it was not meant to be taken as quote-unquote sexist, but they had an initiative where it was all about getting women back in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
And it was hilarious because they posted a big social media post get women in the kitchen or something, and it was really hilarious.
In other words, it backfired because of how it was worded.
Yeah, it was so good, and it was so funny, and it's see, that's not a bad joke, but you would have some people nowadays, certain people, probably friends of Safi's, and they would say, that is not appropriate, I'm going to HR, and it's fuck you. Fuck all that.
It's just stupid. It's just a stupid... not every ad campaign, and you people know that, is a good ad campaign, and that's stupid. I mean, if they would have worded it better or they could have worked on it and made it better. What did they think was going to happen? Really?
That's why it was so funny. It was how could you not understand what this would be taken as by...
I know, and that's pretty dumb.
The feminazis.
I think I would find a new ad company. Whatever, a marketing company, I don't know what... Uh-oh.
I give this episode a B+.
Well, I'll get an A- just because I laughed through the whole thing, no matter what.
Now we have to check the chicken. Safi's been really derelict with the dinner today.
I'll let you check it.
I've had to rest my leg because of yesterday, and so
I'll let you do it.
I guess you can get started talking about the next episode.
Okay, well,
why don't you just start just saying what happened the entire episode, since that's what you like to do.
Well, I don't want to, because the next episode, it's the last episode of the season. And the thing is, with this episode and the episode before last, they have to put in a tribute. They lost 2 voice actors, Dale and Chief Redcorn, right? And they died, and so they've had to replace them, and so because they passed away. So I thought that was... I'm glad that they did the tribute and to both of them, and I thought that was sad, though. But anyway, episode 10, so they had 10 episodes this season, it's called A Sounder Investment. And basically, it's about Peg and Hank, but Hank didn't really want to make it a company.
Okay, all the chicken is done, so we're going to have to get started on dinner now. Safi, come into the kitchen now. Get back in the kitchen now. But I'm going in the
potatoes and the broccoli.
I'm going in the kitchen too.
Okay, we got to do 8 minutes, I
Okay.
guess.
So, anyways, let's just summarize this episode so we can end this review pretty soon.
Well, I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. Okay, and of course there were 2 parts.
I thought it was a big disappointment. It was like, this is what you did for the finale? Like, I like the ending. I like the fact that Bobby and Connie are going to be together. I think that they make a great couple, and I think that they look good and all that crap. They didn't segregate the characters like they segregated the voice actors. But, you know, the whole plot about, like, the investment scheme and the boar hunting company, that was just kind of a waste of time. I mean, that was really, like, a nothing plot. Like, it was so, like, oh, God, I am so not interested in whatever this plot is. The only thing I liked was seeing Buck Strickland. I thought that was great. That was fun. I do feel it is interesting too, because apparently his design was based off of LBJ, and so now that he's kind of skinnier, he's starting to look a lot more like LBJ, which is kind of scary. And other than that, I didn't like that plot. And then the other plot was the Connie and Bobby plot, and it was an interesting plot. I think that the issue that I'm having with the show is that these plots are bite-sized plots. You hardly get any time to enjoy them. You hardly get any time to get them really fleshed out. Like, both plots in all the episodes, they should really be their own episodes, their own full episodes. The whole episode should have been about Connie and Bobby. There shouldn't have been any B plot. I really hate this. I hate this thing nowadays.
But they were the B plot, weren't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because they didn't focus that much time on them. They focused more on this investment company.
Yeah, the A plot sucked. And so I think that's an issue. I'm tired of the A plot and the B plot. Are you, Safi? Like, I noticed that, like, they had that in the older shows somewhat. But for some reason, like the older shows, it was mostly about the main plot, if not all about the main plot.
They weren't connected at all.
Yeah.
They didn't connect at all.
Yeah.
And I hated I didn't like it. I just did not like it at all. I thought it was boring. I think I laughed once.
I'll give it a C-. Now I'm going to turn down the oven. The chicken is done. So I'm going to turn the oven all the way down so that the chicken doesn't overcook like it does
all dried out.
Raising Cane's. There we go. 170.
I'm cooking the sides now, so I'm making mashed potatoes, so I've got to cook. Everything's all cut.
It was really hilarious.
Ready to go.
Safi was like, "Oh, I miss when I got to cook dinner," and then when I give her the chance to make dinner, she's like, "Oh, I'll just throw shit at the wall."
It's not true at all.
Yeah, but you didn't time it. You started a timer for 30 minutes, and then you came over and you talked for 30 minutes about, like, a painstaking recap of an episode.
No, I didn't painstakingly recap.
It was a painstaking recap.
No, it wasn't. Well, I'm not recapping this because it was just so boring.
I give it a C-.
Well, I'll give it a D because I didn't laugh at all. And I'm wondering, and I don't know, maybe you know, does the same actress who plays the mother play Connie?
No.
No.
Did you put garlic salt on the broccoli?
No, got to do that.
Oh, shit! See, guys, I'm doing all the cooking. See?
Yeah, right.
See this? I just put garlic
Marco's
salt.
really good at cooking. So,
I'm a great cook.
he really is.
Among everything else.
Except he likes pepper too much, and I'm kind of allergic to pepper.
I'm great in all areas.
So I'm going to end up having a coughing attack.
Let's put the pepper on. Okay.
Don't do that. Don't put a lot of pepper on the
I'm just
broccoli.
putting a little pepper.
I cut up broccoli, and I cut up and peeled potatoes.
Okay.
And then there's gravy. Not that I made, but it's from
Safi's wearing a shirt that says
and
free
Heinz.
hugs, and I'm giving her a free hug,
It's a
and
Chucky shirt.
she doesn't appreciate it. Why not put the lid on the broccoli?
Well, that was to keep the bugs out.
Oh, whoops.
There's another.
No.
and
It's okay.
also-
So
yeah,
how
there's
how
another-
long how long does
When
the
they start boiling, okay, the
That's
potatoes
boiling.
are boiling, so
Uh-oh.
press the timer.
Okay. Okay. See, guys, it might just be because she hasn't cooked in like 20 years. She's not good with the timing now.
That's not true at all. I don't do anything. Wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. No.
So, what do you think of the season overall, Safi?
Well,
Season 14.
You know, it was strange sometimes. Well, it's just the fact that they had been, in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
And then they came back after all these years.
And it's not even acknowledged, basically. It's like, oh, it's just a little bit, and then just forget all about it, you know?
And I don't like the thing about the retirement, because
I don't either.
I'm older, and I'm busy all the time. I wouldn't just want to be sitting around. And I feel like Frank and Peggy actually are the same way.
Frank?
I mean, Hank and Peggy are the same way. They don't want to just sit around. They're constantly trying to find things to do.
And that's, okay, the two biggest problems of this season would be you didn't flesh out things enough. The plots did not get enough time to breathe. Everything was rushed. Everything was bite-sized. And that just does not work at all. It's like a bite-sized King of the Hill. It's a TikTok King of the Hill. Number 2 would be, I forgot. I forgot the other issue.
Well, at least you got 10 episodes. That
Yeah.
You didn't get 6 or you didn't get 8. At least you got 10.
Wednesday season 2 was better.
Um,
And that had 8. Because they have 50 minutes apiece, so.
I think they might have been hampered by the fact they lost 2 actors.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it could be. Because
No.
that could have been, I don't know, I think that would have been devastating. Because how many seasons? This is season 15. They did 14 seasons.
Yeah.
Does that mean 14 years?
No, you mean 13 seasons.
Oh, 13, okay.
I think probably like 10 to 13 to 12 to 13 years. I don't know.
So that's a long time for those people to be around each other, working together. So I think they could have been in mourning, and it was a loss.
Oh, I remember. The second biggest issue is that they need to find stuff for Hank and Peggy to do. They really, really, like every single episode,
Well, it's
you
going to be
can
hard
tell.
if they just pick out individual activities
Yeah.
out of nowhere. They're going to run out of. They have to find something regular.
Can't you tell, Safi, looking at the season overall, it was like every single episode the writers were like, okay, what should they do?
Well, I know.
We don't know what to
he
do.
did the propane for years, and but you can tell. I mean, I remember this. What characterized him, and even for her, they always kept busy. But I just remember around the house, he always wanted to fix things. He always wanted to keep his hands busy and do things. And he never wanted to he would never sit and watch TV or something like that. And they put some old jokes in, like for instance, when they were having a party with this investment thing, and Peggy says, and Nolan Ryan shows up. Now, anybody knows who Nolan Ryan is. He's a famous Texas baseball player. He was a pitcher. And, of course, he's older now. What are you doing?
Ow!
And she said, I'll get a Nolan Ryan to sign a football for you. Of course, it's kind of a joke that only people would know who Nolan Ryan is, because he's from the past. Remember in Alien Earth when they talk about Reggie Jackson? I think Nolan Ryan was like around the same time as Reggie Jackson. So anyway, so there's these joke kind of things about people from the past that not everybody, like Marco, would never know about unless they were like a baseball fanatic who collected cards or something. And of course, we're not from Texas, so we wouldn't even be keeping track of Texas. But I still knew who he was because just I paid, the Royals won their World Series years and years ago.
Wow.
During that time. And so I heard these people, their names more often, and I remember them. So anyway, but those things, those are like few and far between, and you would have to, it wouldn't be a sustainable
I'm getting half
humor.
of the chicken out.
Okay, it wouldn't be
Half of it.
sustainable humor.
Yeah.
Because, and kind of another humor that they depended on was Peggy and Hank being confronted with newer culture, things that had developed and changed since they had been away.
And you had some of that, like the Andrew Tate group, that Hank came into. Like, that was a new thing. I also think, in general, the season struggled with connectivity and flow. Like, there's no mention of Willow in the last 2 episodes.
She just disappeared.
She just disappeared.
He said he wanted to break up.
Like the Andy Griffith Show. Like,
but that
what's
was
up
weird.
with that?
That was kind of weird.
So that's a big problem with this season, was like there's no connectivity. Like The Simpsons is like that, where every episode shit happens and then you forget about it. But this is King of the Hill. This isn't The Simpsons. So they really needed to do better with, like, connecting the dots. Making it feel like it's a real show and not like it's just The Simpsons. So overall, this was a pretty good season. They have a lot of improving to do, though. Like, this was really kind of a weak start to a reboot. Because it was weak because every episode was like watered down because they were so short, they were so bite-sized. But overall, again, we liked it. Safi, did you have any other things to say about King of the Hill Season 14 before we advertise Patreon on our channel?
Oh, Marco? No, not really.
Okay.
I just, I'm glad they paid tribute to the people who passed away.
Is the broccoli ready?
Yep.
Okay, turn that off.
And at least they didn't wait until everybody was dead, like the guy from Twin Peaks did.
And then he died.
Dead. Yeah, now he's dead. So
I'm not laughing at him dying. I'm laughing at the fact that was like, he said something. It was really weird with that whole show because they brought it back, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we're not immediately going to make another season like everyone else would do. We're just going to sit around and they kept on like teasing the fans. Like, they would say things like, Twin Peaks fans, here, no. Hold it to where your thumb is on there. Like that, yeah. She's pouring out the potatoes, draining them. Good job, Safi. Now I'll turn the stove off. So that you can't do it.
I have to do the beater.
I know. Well, we're going to end the video now. So, what was I saying? Where was I at?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
David Lynch was saying shit like, oh, well, the Twin Peaks fans need to be patient. If you want more Twin Peaks, you're going to have to be patient. Like, patient for what?
And while he was saying that, one after another actor got cancer.
They died.
Just died from old age.
They dropped like flies. Like, it was so bad that, like, I did tweet to Peggy Lipton, and she did like one of my tweets, and then she died a couple of months later. It's like everyone just died from Twin Peaks, and then David Lynch died too. And so it's like, oh, I wonder what'll happen with the show now. Wink, wink. So overall, Patreon, Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies Patreon. movie reviews, TV reviews, bonus shit. If you want to be in the cool kids club, then you should join our Patreon, because we're going to have a ton of exclusive content on there. And no matter which tier you choose, your name will be in the ending credits for a film project. And you will also be able to see film behind the scenes videos. None of this stuff you're ever going to be able to see on YouTube. But if you just want to keep in touch with us on YouTube, please like this video and comment and tell us what you thought of these episodes, and then subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest reviews. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.